Wisdom, the final frontier to true knowledge. Welcome to Wisdom Trek, where our mission is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. Hello, my friend. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your captain on our journey to increase wisdom and create a living legacy. Thank you for joining us today as we explore wisdom on our second millennium of podcast. This is day 1273 of our trek, and time for our Philosophy Friday series. Each Friday, we will ponder some of the basic truths and mysteries of life and how they can impact us in creating our living legacy. As we continue on this trek called life, sometimes we have questions about life. So our Friday trek is a time where we can ask Gramps. Gramps will answer the questions you would like to ask your dad or granddad, but for whatever reason, this is not possible. No matter how old we are, I know that all of us would like the opportunity to ask Dad or Gramps questions about life in many areas. We may mix it up a bit on our Friday episodes, but we'll strive to keep them down to earth and enjoyable. If you have any questions that you would like to ask Gramps, please email them to guthrie@wisdom-trek.com. So the question for this week is, hey Gramps, there are some big decisions and choices that are coming up in my life. How can I make sure that I make the right choices when there are so many options available? So today let's look at the choices you make. Every day we have choices to make. Sometimes they are big and life-changing choices, but most choices that we make each day don't seem to make that big of an impact. What you may not realize is that all decisions and choices that we make are an accumulation of many seemingly insignificant choices that we have made. For example, if you spend $5 each day to buy a cup of gourmet coffee, that may not seem like much of a choice and would not have a major impact. But if you save that $5 per day, that would accumulate to over $18,000 over the next 10 years, and that's not even including interest that you would have earned. Now, is that $5 cup of coffee really an insignificant choice? Every choice has consequences, and those consequences may be positive or negative. Also, for every yes choice that we make, then you are by default making many no choices. And this goes both ways, both wise choices and unwise choices. The single most important choice in life is the choice to follow God and accept Christ as your substitution for your sins. God gave this choice to the nation of Israel also, and this still applies today. So let me read Deuteronomy chapter 30, verses 19 and 20. Today I have given you the choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice that you make. Oh, that you would choose life, so that you and your descendants might live. You can make this choice by loving the Lord your God, obeying Him, and committing yourself firmly to Him. This is the key to your life. And if you love and obey the Lord, you will live long in the land that the Lord swore to give to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So let me ask you a few questions. What are some of the right choices that you have made? Maybe it's the choice of your spouse, or disciplining and earning the respect of your children. Maybe you chose to stay at home or stay in a lower paying job because it was best for your family. What rewarding consequences did those choices bring? How about the flip side of that? Have you made some small or large wrong choices? How about taking that promotion that would keep you away from your family without seeking God's will and your family input about it first? What about your choices about drinking or drugs or pornography, which may have led to addictions in your life? Of course, what I have just listed in both the right and wrong choices above seem like major choices, but what about the choices you face each day? Your choice to use hurtful words in anger. What about staying in some sort of seemingly smaller addictive lifestyle, like working too much at the expense of your family, or just eating that extra donut each morning? Or what about cheating on your expense report or on your tax return? Let it be known that the continuance in these small wrong choices will lead to many major wrong choices. Let's look at a couple examples from the Bible. Consider the choices made by Joseph in Egypt or King David in Jerusalem. In Genesis chapter 39, Joseph, as a slave, flees from the advances of his employer's beautiful but seductive wife. Because of this choice, he later gains respect and position because of his integrity, and he becomes the second in command in all of Egypt, right under the Pharaoh. On the other hand, King David, who could have nearly anything he wanted, commits adultery with a married woman, and that choice causes a terrible series of choices as he spirals downward into deception and the murder of Uriah. King David paid a huge price in the end, where his own children tried to dispose him of his crown. As the Bible passage I read in Deuteronomy advises, God gives you choices that have monumental consequences. It's up to you to make the right choice each day. Choices of integrity and character at home, at work, and your walk with the Lord. There's nothing better than the joy and peace that comes from obeying God. Resolve today to prayerfully seek God's wisdom and guidance regarding every choice that you make in life. In order to make sure that you have the wisdom to make the correct choices, let's follow what James wrote in James chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, but when you ask, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is unsettled as a wave on the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such a person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything that they do. And that's the wrap for today's question. Join us again next Friday for another question on our Ask Gramps episode. Our next trek will be Meditation Monday, where we will help you to reflect on what is most important in life. So encourage your friends and family to join us, and then come along with us on Monday for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past 1,272 daily treks or read the associated journals, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. And I encourage you to subscribe to Wisdom Trek on your favorite podcast player so that each day will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life, together let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward. Enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you on Monday.